sharing the truth one fact at a time. The Free America Radio Network. Go to freeamericaradio.us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Hold on tight. Get ready.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast for the 29th of July, 2014. Boy, is there a lot of stuff going on today, this week, last week, all over the place, all over the world, everywhere that you set your eyes upon. I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to piss off a few people. First of all, we need to close the damn border, period, end of sentence. Close the damn border. Right now, today. I want everybody packed up. I want everybody to get down to the border. I unfortunately cannot get down there unless people support Free America Radio Network. And let's get down there and close the border. Let's stop the buses. Let's do what needs to be done. Oh, not only that. Here's something else you can do locally. If you live in a city that supports comprehensive immigration reform, then you better get down to your city hall and your governor's office in your state capital, and you better march around that place until they hear you, until they stop doing whatever it is they're doing to undermine your liberty and your freedoms. And one other thing, if you live near your border of your state, you better take a few days out and go down to that border and go to that border of your state and protect it. By the way, the 10th Amendment gives you and your governor and your senator, or not, let's put it this way. The 10th Amendment protects your right to secede from the rest of the government when your government, Washington, D.C., becomes a tyrannical government and is going to suppress you and enslave you and become tyrannical. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. We have to do what we have to do. Oh, and one other thing. You Christians, you people that call yourselves Christians, I don't care if you go to a Lutheran, Catholic, Presbyterian, Baptist, Pentecostal church. It doesn't matter. You people that call yourselves Christian. You've got two choices. A, you can stay on your knees for the enemy to come in and to take care of the problem that they see. Or B, stand up and defend yourselves. Most Christians I know of, well, people that call themselves Christian, have a bunch of food ready, have a place to go, have a lot of ammo, and have a way to defend themselves. Do you know why? Because they're not stupid enough to be on their knees. It's time for you Christians, the ones that are, well, we have to pray to move God's heart. No, you have to get up off your knees and defend your city, state, your churches, your buildings, your families. Not so much your buildings, they can be rebuilt, but your families and your city and the people around you and the people you love. Oh, wait. I know Christians who are intolerant of anything that is patriotic, because they're too busy on their knees crying under God to try to change his heart when his heart's already made up. You need to get up off your knees and do what has to be done. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with my friends who are Christian. I mean, literally. I'm pissed off at them because it just... Anyway, enough of that rant. I'll calm down, take a breath. Okay, I'm good. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Go to the website at thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com. I shall return right after this. The world as we know it is changing. We must speak out against the tyranny in our country. Stand up, speak out, get involved. Live Truth Radio. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com. Local radio with a worldwide connection. The Free America Radio Network. Go to www.freeamericaradio.us. For all you independent artists, musicians, and filmmakers, there is a place for you. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. Go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com.
Sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
Hey folks, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 29th of July, 2014. How y'all doing today? Yes, just a show note. This is a podcast, and, well, I'll tell you what. The views expressed in the Wayne S. Pierce Show will combine the show, basically. On Monday, August 4th, that's next Monday, and I will be back broadcasting live. And I want to thank you all for your support in sharing this show and the views expressed live show as well. But we all have to do our part. And I have to do mine as well. And I am doing my part by informing you of who's behind the curtains, pushing the buttons, and pulling the handles. Now, getting out into the street, that's a totally different story. And I'm going to be totally honest. Financially, I just can't do it. I can't hop in my car and drive to Las Vegas and pick up Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality and, go take care of business, go interview people, go do what we have to do. But you can be a part of that. You know, if you go to freeamericaradio.us, go down to the bottom of the page and donate, that would be awesome. And I would be able to get out and do more interviews and get out on live, broadcasts out on the streets and give you the lowdown from the people's own mouth as what they see. But anyway, if you are so inclined to support Free America Radio Network, please do. Yes. Thank you. freeamericaradio.us. Go down to the bottom of the page and click donate. Appreciate that very much. Anyway, what else do we have in the news? What else have we... What else has the mainstream media distracted us from? The real news, the real things that people need to be looking at, such as what is happening in Israel and over there, what is happening with the and I'm going to say this, I haven't heard anybody say this, what is happening with the coalition troops of the Taliban, the Al-Qaeda, the Al-Nusra, all of those groups out there, that are basically being funded by your tax dollars through the military-industrial complex and the CIA and the FBI, or specifically the military-industrial complex. But so what's happening over there? What does your mainstream media? What are they doing to distract you from the real issues? What are they doing to keep you blind, to keep you dumb, to keep you mute? Deaf, dumb, and blind. By the way, dumb doesn't mean stupid or, unintelligent. Dumb literally means you can't speak. Mute, dumb, you can't speak. Deaf, dumb, and blind. You can't hear, you can't speak, and you can't see. Kind of like those three monkeys. Speak no evil, hear no evil, see no evil, you know, that kind of thing. So it makes you wonder, what's on the agenda? What's on the plate of these criminals in Washington, D.C.? And now, the thing that really has put me at the edge of just wanting to scream at people and grab them and shake them up and break them out of their matrix is the fact that what has stopped me from that? It's been my rationality based upon the views and experiences I've had over the many, many years that I've been researching this criminal government and everything else. I've seen it. There are things that I don't know, so I learn something new every day. But everything right now, today, as of the 29th of July 2014, has been accelerated within the last 6 years since Obama has been president. It's been put into place. You know, it's kind of like, well, let's put it this way. It's like showing up at a pool game. You got your pool stick in your hand, waiting for somebody to put the to put the buck in the machine so you can get the balls out of the machine and put the balls up, rack them up, and then you're, you know, ready to play the game. We're at that moment right now where somebody took the rack off the balls and they're just sitting there, and then now we're all arguing who's going to go first. Well, somebody's just going to pick up the stick, grab the white ball, and knock those balls apart. This is how accelerated it's become, that moment at which we say, or the government, who is against us, is saying we have to ramp up the processes here to create a North American Union to be part of the New World Order. That is what's happening. Right at that moment, the rack comes off. Have you ever played pool where somebody pulls the rack off and somebody hits the ball right at that same time? And though you haven't even had time to hang the rack up on the wall, the balls are. That's how fast it has accelerated in the last 6 years. And this all started with President Bush, who signed the Patriot Act, created the Homeland Security, did all that. He put all that into place. That's all the infrastructure. In 2005, he signed a document with President Vicente Fox and Prime Minister Paul Martin of Canada, and created basically the plan to which to build on. And when President Obama, Senator Obama, when he became president, he signed another document which put all the tools in place on that foundation, on that written infrastructure. Now he's got the physical infrastructure. Now in the last 6 years, he's put it all into motion. He's making it happen. Don't blame Bush. Don't blame Clinton. Don't blame, King Bush the First, Daddy Bush. He goes clear back to World War II with Grandpa Bush, with Prescott Bush. So all that Bush family is in it for is in the money. Cha-ching for them, because their contracts of companies they own, whether it's in oil or manufacturing, whatever it is, they're going to make tons and tons of money off of the backs of the taxpayers, forking money out into the war machine called the military-industrial complex. Now, whether or not you believe that, whether or not you hold to that ideal, not my problem, because obviously you're ignoring the most crucial, important thing in this whole scheme of things, and that is Washington, D.C., President Barack Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, and all their little minions don't really give a crap about you or the Constitution or your rights or anything else. They want to control everything in the world, everything in the United States that you hold dear, such as your freedoms, your liberties, they don't want peace. You want peace. They can care less about security of the United States, obviously, as you see with the border, with the influx of the immigrants at the border. But they're playing right into the hands of the Agenda 21 scheme. Have you read the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights? Check out Article 28, 29, and 30. Do you really think they care about you? Seriously? Do you really think they really give a crap about what you want? You are more deluded than I thought you were, if you believe they care about you. Okay? Let me type this in here. I want to read those 3 sections to you. Article 28 of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. 28. Everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. Do you know that the United Nations is nothing more than a worldwide mafia organization? Do you know that? Article 29, Section 1. Everyone has duties to the community in which alone the free and full development of his personality is possible. Section 2. In exercise of his rights and freedoms, everyone shall be subject only to such limitations as are determined by law solely for the purpose of securing due recognition and respect for the rights and freedoms of others and of meeting the just requirements of morality, public order, and the general welfare in a democratic society. Section 3. These rights and freedoms may in no case be exercised contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations. That's Article 29. Article 30. Nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as, now get this, nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, group, or person any right to engage in any activity or to perform any act aimed at the destruction of any rights and freedoms set forth herein. That right there says that the Supreme Court order, the United States Supreme Court order, I believe it was 1969, I'm not sure. It's called the heckler's veto. If you and I were out protesting something, that heckler's veto, literally a Supreme Court decision says anybody coming up and protesting against what we're protesting against or saying anything to us to try to get us, out of the way or stop us from protesting can be arrested by the police because they are violating our First Amendment rights, period. Go check out chrisannehall.com, KRISANNEHALL.com, Chris Ann Hall. She has all that information for you. Now, I'm going to point out one very important factor in all of this. We have to accept what's going on around us. We have to honestly accept the things that are happening. In other words, you cannot sit there and blatantly, or however you wish, ignore the obvious. You can't, but I can't sit here and tell you to look at it. But I will say this in general then. And very simply, we must do what we must do in light of what is happening to protect ourselves and survive as much as we can. If you cannot accept the fact that this government is in a conspiratorial way, functioning in such a way to where they want to destroy the United States of America and suspend the Constitution and Bill of Rights or completely get rid of it, then you are ignoring the obvious. You have absolutely no idea what's going on because all you care about is your knitting, taking your kids to soccer, going to ballet, watching your stupid reality shows. You don't give a crap. And the more that you are dumbed down by the neuro-linguistic programming of your state-run media on your big screen TVs, the more that you're not going to care. Now, let me turn that coin over and say that I have had people email me and mention to me on posts on Facebook that there are people that are awake and they're assuming that I'm not aware of this by their statements of, well, why do you think, we're not awake? There's people out there that are awake. Why don't you think so? I understand this. Did you not hear me in the beginning of this say in a general simplified manner, I will say this. Okay? So the process by which we need to understand all of this is very simple. Get rid of your preconceived ideas. Get rid of all of your state-run media bullcrap. Turn off your damn TVs. Turn off all of that. Just look at what it is yourself. Go out, examine everything, and decide for yourself what you need to believe. And that goes with you. That goes for you, my fellow Christians. I'm not bashing Christians because all religions believe in a higher power, or in some cases, a lower power. And these labels that we place on this massive energy in our universe, we limit that energy in our lives by the label that we have put on that energy, because of our lack of understanding of what that energy truly is, or what we would believe it to be. So in light of that, we need to examine our own hearts and selves and souls and say, wait a minute, something's not right here. I can tell you this. I follow my intuition. That, that little gut feeling that you have. If your gut feeling says, something's not quite right here, you better listen to it. And whatever pictures you see in your head that you are urged in the spirit to go and do, you better do that. Because your intuition is correct 100% of the time. And it's not, no, I've had somebody tell me, well, your intuition's wrong then. Mine's right. Really? Are you a complete idiot and moron? Because obviously you don't understand enough to really understand that there's a trust issue that you should have with your intuition. And the only way that you fail is when you put yourself between what your intuition is telling you to do and what your limited mind and your lack of understanding tells you. It's very simple. I know it's complicated to hear and try to explain, but it's as simple as this. To leave a room, you got to open a door. In the same manner that you want to enter that room, you open the door. Pretty much. If you want to leave or enter, you open the door and you go. Intuition is like that. When it says, and you feel that you need to open a door to leave the room or open the door to enter the room, you do so. There's no question. You do. There you go. You're out. You're in. Whatever. It's that simple, folks. And to go out into your city, into your towns, into your neighborhoods, and you see what's going on, you will be confronted with all sorts of energy around you in terms of emotion or action or any number of those things. And you need to determine for yourselves, number one, what is right for you. And number two, how do you survive? It's as simple as that, folks. It's as simple as that. Because I'm not going to give you the silver platter answer of your life because it's your life. okay? It's your life. It's your eyes. It's your observational skills. It's your perspective. It's not mine. I mean, if we happen to see the same thing and agree that the thing that we see is what we know it is to be, I know that was complicated. Then cool. Let's agree on something. But it's as easy as opening the door. You go out in your neighborhood, you talk to people, you go out and you see what's happening, you go out and you examine those things. You examine those things. I mean, when I say examine, I mean, really examine it. Flip them open, turn them over, upside down, backwards, sideways, look around. You examine those things. And then determine for yourself what is right for you. I can't grab you by the scruff of the neck and go, you're going to go this way. No. Unless there's, tanks and military personnel running through your, neighborhood, and then we're all together, and then we just got to go survive somehow. All right? I know I kind of scared you there with the military coming through your neighborhood, but is that ever going to happen? Well, do you want to stick around to find out? Do you want to not protest and function in such a protagonist type of way to try to stop that from happening? The only way that you can is if you get out into your neighborhood and see what's going on and get the feel and the pulse of the people that are in your neighborhood. Better yet, get a fuller picture of what's happening by going downtown in your cities. Not only downtown, but also in the surrounding areas of your downtown. Because those places are going to be functioning in such a way to where it's like, hey, it's a new day. Let's make some money. Hey, whatever. They're going to be oblivious to what's going on around them. Yeah, they may hear it, but they'll turn off the TV or they'll turn off the radio or whatever it is. Why? They don't want to hear it. And I've heard people tell me to my face, I don't want to hear any of that because I don't want it ruining my day. You're a flippin' moron. Because the negative stuff that is happening to you is going to be something that is going to teach you how to survive. And if you have this, oh my God, I'm fearful. If you have this fear, it's only going to help you, not hinder you. You take that fear and you put it into such a positive action to where you can survive. Chances are you're going to survive. I've seen it. Okay? I know it works. And I'm not giving you some self-help, pie in the sky, try this and it'll work. No. I'm just giving you a generality of the things that I've seen work. You got to determine for yourself what is right for you and what works for you. That's you there, right there, listening to this. You have to determine what's right. I can't twist your arm and throw you on the hood of a car and arrest you and say, this is going to happen. No, I can't do that. Okay? That would be instilling my will in your life, and I don't do that. That's against every code that I know. You believe what you believe because of the things that you believe are true for you. And you determine for yourself within your own heart, soul, mind, and body what is right for you. I can't direct your path. That's your job. Okay? Anyway, I'll be back after the break here. So, email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. Go to the website at thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com. Donate to the show if you'd like. You can do that there, or sponsor the show if you like. That'd be cool. Thank you. Again, freeamericaradio@usa.com if you have any questions. freeamericaradio@usa.com. I'll be back right after this. What's on your mind? Chances are it's on their mind too. Come check out Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. Friday evenings at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, only on Spreaker.com.
Are you tired of the mainstream media? The media that is so biased, you wouldn't even let your dog listen to it? Well, there's an answer. Angel Clark.
On RadioFreedom.us.
Just listen to her fans.
One hell of a writer. I've read a considerable amount of her articles and quite impressed.
Until Angel, my life was void of meaning.
I want to thank you for saving my goldfish from drowning.
I love Angel Clark's honesty and her down-to-earth concern about the people.
She is very dedicated.
Angel, we need you.
This Angel's a sexy woman. I think she's going to go places, but I don't know where.
Ladies and gentlemen, she does a good job.
If it wasn't for Angel,
you saved his life, and I will be indebted to you forever.
SussexCountyAngel.com. Be a part of Angel's Army.
Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on RadioFreedom.us.
It's New York, February 1964. The Beatles are making their appearance at the Ed Sullivan Show in one more day. The Plaza Hotel is crazy with preparations. Alex Frazier, a desk clerk, has secretly let his brother Freddie use the penthouse suite for the evening so he can wine and dine the girl of his dreams. What Alex and Freddie don't know is the Secret Service is using the same room to hide spy novelist Henry Lade. His most recent novel has attracted the attention of the Soviets and the East Germans. The communist countries believe Lade may have secretly discovered their plot to bomb Fresno. What Agent John Parker and Henry Lade don't know is the Beatles are staying in the same room for their first appearance on American television. Let's Get Laid by Thomas Amo, available on the Kindle at Amazon.com.
This is the Free America Radio Network. For more information, go to freeamericaradio.us.
Hey folks, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 29th of April, 2014. Now, what do we see on the horizon? I mean, a lot of people were saying on a post that I made earlier on Facebook that they're looking for answers. They're looking for a plan. Well, first of all, I'm not going to give you the silver platter answer. I know what is possible. And I know for me, and for the people around me, some, my family members and all, I know what I can do. But that's all, that's what I can do. The plan is whatever it is you're coming up with to protect your family and friends. Pretty much that's it. Now, collectively as a group of people that want to take back our country, well, we need to get the word out to the military, to the law enforcement, to all those folks that are in those positions, state police, sheriff, city police, whatever. And we need to get the word out. We need to get the word out to them and number one, ask them if they're constitutional and, ask them if, and you can just call them up. Just call up the county sheriff's office because the county sheriff, he's the ultimate law enforcer in that county. Okay? He can tell the governor, no, you back off. Here's what I'm doing. He has the constitutional power to tell the BLM, the ATF, and all those government officials, get the hell out of my county. He has the constitutional power to do that. So you need to call your sheriff's office and you need to ask him if that's what he'll do. Now, sheriffs and legislatures, of course, across the United States have already passed legislation in emergency sessions to nullify any gun control law from the federal government, nullify the NDAA, get rid of Common Core. Legislatures have done this, and governors have signed on to this because they know. So what's happening in your county? What's happening in your state? Yeah, let me know. If you write an article or whatever, I'll post it up on the website at the WayneSPearshow.weebly.com site or at the freeamericaradio.us site. Send that information to freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. The plan. It's real simple. It's whatever it is you need to do to survive. That's the plan. I can't, get food, get water, get medical supplies, get ammo, get guns, whatever you need to do. Yes, get guns, yes. Well, they got bigger guns than we do. You'll have a chance of survival, if you do find a way to protect yourself in whatever means possible, instead of just sitting on your front porch waiting for a big, tank to come up and blow you away. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. I know some people might think I'm crazier than a freaking loon, but he's one of those conspiracy theorists. Oh, my God, he's one of those. Don't get near him. It might rub off. No. I'm giving you the truth with the facts. You have to look at the situation with honest eyes, an open heart, and a very open mind. I keep harping, I keep thinking about going back to talking to the Christians specifically because they have no clue what's going on. They see that their house is upset, so they get on their knees and pray. By the way, your churches, the ones that signed a 501c3, guess what? The government tells you what to do, what not to do, when to do it, why to do it, how to do it. Guess what? Go look this up, my fellow Christians. Clergy response teams. They're everywhere. Catholics, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, Presbyterians, Pentecostals, everywhere. They're everywhere. Guess what they do? They spy on you, my fellow Christians. Yes. By the way, if you're standing around after a service on a Sunday and you're telling your friends, this government, it has to be, and we need to do, if you talk like that to your fellow Christians, give it about 36 hours, maybe 48, and you'll have the pastor or one of the associate pastors call you and say, hey, can I talk to you about something? Yeah. Clergy response teams. Go look that up. Go look it up. Anyway, the plan is whatever it is you need to do to survive. That's the plan. If you want a silver platter answer on a plate that I give you, that's it. Okay? On to other things. Yeah. Spoke 40 minutes, didn't get to the news at all. What is wrong with me? Oh, my goodness. Free America Radio on Facebook. Okay. U.S. Senators from Arizona introduced CREST Act addressing border crisis. Oh, isn't this lovely? I heard about this. From TucsonNewsNow.com. Tucson, Arizona. The CREST, or Children Returning on an Expedited and Safe Timeline. Let me say that again. The CREST, or Children Returning on an Expedited and Safe Timeline. Just go to your favorite search engine and punch in CREST, like the toothpaste, Act. Was recently introduced by both Arizona U.S. Senator John McCain and Jeff Flake. According to a recent release, Senator McCain's office, the act addresses the growing humanitarian crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border as thousands of undocumented children cross illegally into the United States. Yeah, the MS-13 gang members and the drug cartel members are putting children in their arms and shoving them across bringing them across, I should say, the border. And then releasing them and going, okay, you're here, okay, go away. Quote, the legislation attends to the urgent humanitarian crisis on the border today while also addressing with the root of the problem, deterring future flows of unaccompanied children making the long and dangerous journey north, said, unquote, said Senator John McCain. Quote, while President Obama should be doing more to halt the flow of unaccompanied minors crossing the border, Congress also needs to step up, unquote, said Senator Jeff Flake. U.S. Senator Kelly Ayotte, New Hampshire, Lindsey Graham, South Carolina, and Jim Inhofe, Oklahoma, also support this new legislation. The following is a summary of the Act's provisions. There's more than one. But I'll put this up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show and the Free America Radio Facebook page so you can read that. It's, not that long, but, I've only got so much time left. But I'll give you the big headlines here. Crest summary amends the Trafficking Victims Prevention Act to increase repatriation of unaccompanied alien children from non-contiguous countries. Number 2, requires mandatory detention of UAC until their cases are fully adjudicated. In other words, put them in jail. Send them away, whatever it is, 3, increases the number of immigration judges to hear cases and create a separate immigration docket to hear the cases of juveniles, most of which are MS-13 gang members, by the way. Next, increases the number of refugee applications by up to 5,000 for each of El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. And the next one here says conditions foreign aid on countries' efforts to secure their borders. And last but never the least, increase penalties of human smuggling. By the way, this is never going to get off the ground, and I'll tell you why. It's real simple. The borders are wide open. They're not protected for one main reason: Democratic voters. Okay? You give somebody a handout long enough, they'll vote for whatever it is you want. Got it? This country is being torn down, torn apart, ripped apart to shreds from the inside out. I was one of the unfortunate many that got caught up in the hype of this whole 2008 campaign, where I should have known but didn't. That's my mistake. That in 2004, 2006, I believe, one of those years, it was either the midterms or the general election when Bush was reelected. I think it was 2006 in the midterms. When I saw this person, no, it's 2004 at the Democratic National Convention, where this person came up and spoke. And people can correct me. I'm okay with that. I don't know what year it was. But I remember seeing the Democratic National Convention where this person came up and spoke. A senator came up and spoke and said what he said and got the crowd all riled up. And this person's name was Barack Hussein Obama. And I guess he was senator at that time, or somebody, from Chicago. And, he spoke. He was there. He spoke to these people. And then, at one point, you see in 2006? That's it, 2006, you see the ramp up of the elections, right? Because Bush was, done, and, these elections were coming up. You saw all this stuff happening. And out of nowhere, from basically, obscurity, this Barack Hussein Obama came up from behind, and he's saying all the right things and putting everything together. And, well, he was actually trained to do that. He's a Manchurian candidate. And in 2008, he's elected president. And 6 years later, we have a screwed up country because of him. So it had nothing to do with Bush. Okay. Well, it had partly to do with Bush, but Obama decided to extend all of that crap and really, accelerate what has been happening. So, enough of that. My point is this. I did all that to tell you all this, and that is, it's going to take the American people, the United States citizens, not the jackasses coming across the border, but the United States citizens right here, right now, to get up and to say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Anybody seen the movie Network? Go check that out. That tells you exactly what's happening everywhere in the media, outside the media, within all of that, and I guarantee you that is exactly how it works. Okay? It's exactly how it works. It's all planned out, folks. Your votes don't count. None of your votes count. Do you know why? Because 2016 is coming up in about a year and a half. The powers that be that run Washington, D.C., and the corporates that really fund it through your tax money and through all their profits of their corporations, they've already got the person they want to put in the suit at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. It's already there. They already got that person. And people are asking, who is that person? Well, get your eyes off of the distractions that the state-run media is throwing at you and then look at who is going to be running. Okay? Just look at that. Examine the field of the players that are going to be running this year. Okay? This year. Starting about now, they start, strategizing and say, okay, in November, the midterms, this. Okay, after that, we're going to do this. And in the summer, we're going to do... This is what they do. Because that's what their handlers are telling them to do. There's also a cycle. You see these things happening every 3 to 6 months. I mean, But watch, folks. In the campaigns of these people next year, watch how much mudslinging there is. Just watch. By the way, I'm personally, as a side note, think that anybody that is running for a political office, if anyone else is opposing them and uses, any types of negative ads against that person, then that opposite candidate should be taken out of the race, should be sued to the fullest extent of the law, and should have their contributions to their political party given to the people of the city they are in. Well, what does that mean? That means that you're going to run an honest race. You're not going to mudsling. You're not going to criticize the other person for this and that and that and this. No. Because all that mudslinging gets to the point at which they go to this big place, televise it, and it's called the debates. By the way, all of that serves no purpose. Because no matter who you're looking at on TV, the powers that be that control all the media, that control all the politics, all the political candidates, they're just putting on a dog and pony show for you so that you think you have some sort of choice. Okay? And that whole thing has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the corporations. And I don't know what else to tell you, folks. I really, really don't. It all boils down to what you want, how you can do that for your own survival. I look at it this way. We need to get rid of all the parties. We just need to get rid of them all. We just need to abolish all political parties whatsoever. Why? I'll tell you why. It's real simple. Because the American people are sick and tired of all of the backstabbing, all of the criticizing, all of it. The American people are sick and tired of partisan politics. This goes back to 1990, around when Bill Clinton ran for president. So I'm not just telling you stuff out of the side of my mouth here. I've got the information to back it up. And it probably goes back farther than that. But people are tired of partisan politics. Instead of 90, let me give you this statistic. 90 to 95% of Congress is filled with attorneys. Did you know that? How about if we get farmers in there? How about if we get store owners in there? How about if we get music producers in there? How about if we get certain people in there, just regular Joes that own a mom and pop store or a liquor store down the street? Why don't we get these regular people in there and not these damn attorneys? Well, who's going to make the laws? People. Folks, we had... When the United States of America was formed and the Constitution was being put together prior to 1791, we had farmers, we had tobacco farmers, we had grape farmers, wine merchants, we had all sorts of people that were just regular, everyday folks. But since 1891, we've had attorneys in there. Okay? Folks, in Minnesota, we have a comedy writer who's a congressman. That's okay. We had an actor who was governor and president. Okay? 75% of the presidents that we had were military. Okay? So they knew. Okay? Now, if you want America to be the way you want it to be, if you want the United States that you live in to be what you want, you're going to have to get up off your ass and go do something. And if you don't, or if you refuse to or don't want to, then you can grab your remote, grab your beer, and watch your stupid ESPN. If you don't want to listen to the news or to whatever, to hear the negative and the positive, to judge for yourself what it is you need to do to survive, then you know what? I think you need to pack your stuff and go find a faraway cabin somewhere and just live there by yourself. Because you don't deserve to be intermingling with society, with your fellow human beings. If you're not willing to learn something, and of course learn something new every day, and be able to do everything you can to help you and your family survive, what's the point of you being anywhere? Okay? Build yourself a cabin out in the middle of nowhere, grab your generator and your satellite TV and just watch all the sports you want. By the way, have you read, and I admit I haven't read it yet, but have you read 1984? Do you know the premise? Do you understand that sports and entertainment and all of that is a distraction to you so that you don't see what is happening behind the curtain and who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles? That is exactly what's happening. And for someone with even a small portion of their brain operating in the right way, for someone to even ignore what is happening outside of your house is completely moronic. If you cannot see the dangers in front of you, how are you going to avoid them? Myself and many others are telling you what's happening and how things are transpiring, and you're sitting there doing what? I don't want to see that because I don't want it ruining my day. Politics is not my cup of tea. Blah, 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 blah. How about freedom and liberty, jackass? How about fighting for your country? How about defending the liberty and freedom that you have? How about that? Hey, that's a novel idea. Am I willing to get out and defend this country and defend my neighborhood and defend my neighbors and my loved ones against the ass hats that are coming out of Washington, D.C., trying to tear away my constitutional rights and suspend the Constitution and implement martial law? And am I willing to stand on the front line to defend myself and my family against that? Yes. And I don't want to hear anybody tell me anything different. Well, you don't seem like that type of person. Well, you don't know me, do you? I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you don't walk in my shoes, know my heart, know what's on my mind, or know the things I know, you have no right to say anything to me about anything. Criticize me about anything under the sun. You have absolutely no right to do that. What you have is the opportunity to sit down with me and understand what's going on. I've had people do that. They've sat down. Hell, we've had lunch. And I said, here's what's happening. And they're looking at me like, no, that's not really. Yes, it is. Here, look at this. That was before I had the internet. That's when I went to the San Joaquin County Library in Stockton, California, where I grew up and got information from books about Operation Gladio and all the false flag events that got us into Vietnam in 1964. So no. I got the internet in 1995, folks, okay? Just to let you know. So it was before that. And even after that, I would show people what's going on. And they were like, no, that's not. So they lodge this title to me, I'm not going to go overboard because I don't have a whole lot of time here, but people have called me every name in the book and made up a few. And I just look at them going, all right, hey, here's the information. I've checked it out. It's true. It's factual. But if you don't want to see it, not my problem. Okay, bye. Have a nice day. Enjoy. So that's what I got to say to people that are criticizing me for this. Bye. Have a nice day. Enjoy. Pack your cabin with all the food that you can. I hope you know how to hunt and fish because you're going to need it because that cabin's going to get pretty lonely by yourself. And those sports programs are going to get pretty boring. So anyway, hey folks, these are my views and my opinions, and if you have your own, please let me know. freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. I want to hear from you. Please email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, and put in the subject line radio. That way I know, you've heard me. So, freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. You can go to thewaynesPierceShow.weebly.com and check out that site as well. The views expressed in the Wayne S. Pierce Show will be combined on Monday. I will be back broadcasting live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Free America Radio Network. And, yeah, so enjoy your day, enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to you on Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Views Express live right here on the Free America Radio Network.